Hi, this is Jonathan Rosenhead at Jerusalem Psychotherapist. This week's Torah and Psychology post of Parshas Noach is titled, Why Am I Suffering? Because in this week's Parsha we have the mass suffering and destruction of the world. And Rashi explains why there was a Mabul. Why did Hashem bring a Mabul? And he says that at a time when there is Znus and Avodah Zarah, then this brings Androlamusia, this brings havoc to the world and chaos. And at this time the good and bad people are caught up in this chaos, and they both suffer. So if we think about this Androlamusia, this chaos, and the Znus and the Avodah Zarah that Rashi is talking about, perhaps we can relate this from a therapeutic point of view. We can relate this to one's values and beliefs. Immorality and adultery is a strong belief and principle. So when we think about cognitive behavior therapy, it looks at a person's maladaptive thoughts and beliefs and how that affects it influences one's thoughts, emotions and behavior. And it tries to help a person to change these maladaptive thoughts to promote their mental health and their well-being. So we've got this explanation of Rashi that the Mabul was brought because of brought this Androlamusia, this chaos, which caught up good and bad people. Everyone suffered. But we can also look at it not just from the external world, but also one's internal world, one's psychological world, that good and bad get mixed up in this chaos. Because at times of suffering, at times of depression in particular, a person's positive qualities, perhaps they are optimistic, upbeat, they're sociable, this gets washed away in the storm of depression. Everything gets mixed up, the positive and the negative, and they are caught up in the chaos of depression. So how does one escape this Androlamusia, this chaos, this suffering? The pasuk says that Noach was told, Tzohar ta'aseh l'teva. Noach was told to make a tzohar for the teva. And there are different explanations of what is tzohar. Rashi says that it's a window or a bright stone. And the Chizkuni says that tzohar is from the word yitzhar. Yitzhar meaning olive oil, that provides light. And he says that Noach had a torch that provided light in the teva. So we see these three explanations: a window, a bright stone, a torch of light. They're all sources of light. And this gives us a message of how to escape the chaos of depression. Because when one is depressed, their world is rocking. They are caught up in a storm, and they shut themselves away in a box. They detach and they disconnect and remove themselves from the world. And the way to bring themselves back is to have a source of light, a source of direction and comfort. And this is the light of the teva, the tzohar, and this is the light that we need to escape this depression. And the light can be from an external source or an internal source. So when we asked at the beginning of this week's post, why am I suffering? Why is my world so dark? In therapy, we're not really interested so much in the why, but the what. The reality of our life. What is our current situation and how can we change it? So this is the source of light. The Medrash in Tehillim says, Ilmali yashavti b'choshech lo heya oli. If I hadn't sat in the darkness, then there wouldn't be light. When we start to appreciate and acknowledge the light that we have in our world, the light that we have whilst we are sitting in the darkness, this is the beginning of the healing process. Have a great Shabbos. Keep well.